Welcome back to the last episode of 2022 and the last episode of season one of the Top Loaded podcast. It is episode 43. It's the week before Christmas, so it's going to be a bit more of a jubilant, not moaning at tops week. But Harry, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm not sure. No matter any week of the year, you could not moan at tops, but we'll let them off on these next few weeks. But yeah, good mate. Yeah, Christmas obviously is in full swing now, and looking forward to this episode we've got coming up.
Yeah, like we say, it's going to be a bit of a different one to finish the year. We've got a bit of a quiz as well as talking. We're going to do a little award show as well of our favourite things, our favourite cards that we've picked up, favourite sets. But like we say, we thought because it's Christmas, we might as well do something a bit different before we rest up over the Christmas New Year period and get really cracking on season two next year, which is going to be a lot of fun. So before we get into this next segment, it's been a great year for trading cards for us, I would say.
Yeah, it's been a really successful year in terms of sort of PC pickups and what we collected this year. So, I think it's been my first full, more or less full year in the hobby, and yeah, it's grown from strength to strength for me personally, and obviously coming onto the podcast with you as well. So yeah, couldn't really have asked for much more or expected much more in terms of obviously what we've achieved this year. So yeah, definitely looking forward to season two beginning obviously in January. But yeah, it's been a really successful year for me and obviously for us as well. So yeah, looking forward to seeing what 2023 brings in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, like I say, I think it's been a brilliant 2022 for the hobby, not just for ourselves, but the UK scene in general. It's really grown a lot, and we really look forward to 2023. But first of all, we've got to say what our favourite. I've got a feeling I see your favourite pickup last night, but what is your favourite pickup of 2022?
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple that could be put into contention. I think one of the front runners has got to be obviously the one of one Gunther Steiner that I did pick up only a month or two ago. That I did thankfully get back in hand last night when we had a little meet up. Obviously freshly graded with SGC, so that was really nice to get that back in hand just before Christmas. But yeah, I think it's got to be either the Gunther Steiner one of one or potentially the Gasly sitting pose. I really liked that pickup. But yeah, I mean, there's arguably a lot of cars that I know. I was after the Arsenal Prism Club badge and Emirates Stadium for months, and to finally get both of those this year as well. But no, I think yeah, it's got to be the Gunther Steiner one of one for me personally. What about you?
I was thinking exactly the same. I'm looking at. I think the one that's just gonna. It's very tight between a couple, but I think the one I've got to go with is the 5 to 5 Viagra gold vinyl granite Xhaka. I just haven't seen it much. Even though I did have a pickup this week, which really went close. I picked up the printing plate impeccable, which I'm a massive fan of impeccable, as everyone knows. Got the obviously printing plate one of that, but because it's not in hand yet, I'm gonna got to say I've actually got it right here for anyone watching the lovely gold vinyl, which is just it's a card that I didn't think I'd be able to get. So it was a bonus when I did see it pop up on whatnot, and it's a lovely card in person, and I can't bring myself to grading it, so I'm going to just get in a mag and just going to have it all magged up for the next year. But like I said, been great pickups. Shows have been very good as well this year. We've been to 3 London card shows and South Coast card shows. So I think obviously we're looking forward to the next one coming up in February for London Card Show, which will be at you'll be at the full weekend. I'll be at the Sunday. I think what just briefly on card shows, it's been a great year for card shows. I think you can really see the progression this year alone in the London Card Show, going strength to strength, and just the card scene in general.
Yeah, massively. I think the scale they've grown on in the space of a year has been massive. Obviously, the first show of 2022 still being at Tolworth, obviously to now being at Sandown, and obviously looking to further that obviously at the one in February. So yeah, it's been a really obviously massive year for card shows, and for me, I remember going to the one in January obviously on my own, first ever card show I went to on my own. So obviously then yeah, going to the most recent one, obviously all of you lot and the boys and stuff. So Yeah, it's been really really good in terms of this year for card shows. But yeah, the scale that London have grown on is admirable, and we always say it, but fair play to Harry and his team. He's got behind him because they do an incredible job every single time. And yeah, obviously really looking forward to seeing what they have in store for the show in February. But yeah, couldn't really have asked for a more successful year in terms of card shows. Obviously, we've met a lot of people, obviously seen and obviously met up with a few more people that we've seen every card show. So yeah, we couldn't really ask for a better reception and to meet some incredible people along the way. So yeah, definitely looking forward to what the card shows have in store in 2023 for us.
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone highlights the car shows to go to, and obviously South Coast as well. I really enjoyed. You get really spoke to a lot of people, and I know obviously a lot of people go to a London card show as well. But it's always important to check out the other shows as well. But it's kind of feeling like a national vibe for the UK now. The London card show, that's the one that everyone travels to. And then you've got the smaller ones around the country. But like I say, it's been a fantastic year for card shows, and it's just I think 2023 is looking really promising. Obviously, World Cup has just finished. Congratulations to Lionel Messi and Argentina. I think a great way to finish off the year, especially in the hobby. Seeing Messi's prices go absolutely ballistic. I've seen base prism cards going for about $50, and I'm like, what is going on here? But like I say, I think that was probably the perfect way to finish the year in the hobby, especially after such a successful release of World Cup Prism. So next one is, what was your favorite release of 2022 in the trading card world?
That's a pretty broad question. Um, I mean, yeah, there's a couple of sets that probably come straight to mind. Obviously, World Cup Prism, very, very successful set and arguably some of the nicest cards, obviously, with the World Cup being on at the same time. That's got to be thrown into contention. I think, Stadium Club Chrome. I'm a massive fan of Club Chrome, so I think that's obviously been a really nice set that's been released. I think Merlin Blasters arguably being available to pick up, obviously in the UK. That was obviously a really exciting release for all of us collectors in the UK scene, being able to go out and find the blasters. Obviously F1 as well, Chrome being released as well this year. I think I've got to go for World Cup Prism. I think it's got to be World Cup Prism.
Yeah, I think I there was one other one that tied for me for 2020 with World Cup Prism, and it was the women's Chrome. I think it went a bit under the
Yeah,
radar, obviously because it's a women's set. It hasn't got the same audience, so fair enough that obviously not as many people want to collect it. But I actually thought the set was a massive success, and because of the low print run on it, he was guaranteed at least two to three numbered cards, potentially four. I think I even see a couple with like five numbered cards. You get one or two autos per box, and obviously because it's the first proper release, obviously we've had the stickers for the last couple of World Cups, but also we've had summer signings for the women's and also Champions League knockout. But a lot of it was the rookies, and that's what made it really good, especially for an Arsenal collector like ourselves. You obviously had Beth Mead's rookie and then Vivian Miedema's rookie. You had Leah Williamson's rookie as well, to name a few. So it was a very good set. And I look forward to the next one of that. So it's been a very good year for releases. And like we say, Eminence has just come out. Elite has just come out as well, which is obviously very similar to Score in terms of it's a UK set, which has looked very good actually after a few boxes I've seen open, which is a lovely way to finish off the year. But just before we get into like some questions about the quiz you of 2020 in the card world, 2023, have you got any? Obviously, the rainbow. I know the rainbow is going to come up of what you want to complete in 2023. But is there anything else you're looking at trying to do in 2023, or even maybe a new player you're going to try and go after in the year for collecting?
Obviously, yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. I think trying to get the last two puzzle pieces for the Gunfer and Rainbow is going to be pretty high up on my list, as well as actually trying to finally get around to completing the 2020 Chrome base set. I think I'm about 7 cards away from completing that, so that's been taking a back burner for the last 3 months now. So I need to try and just finish off that off and get them last 6, 7 cards put in the set. Um, I think I'd like to pick up a one of one from Arsenal. Obviously, I picked up the one of one Gunversteiner from F1. So I think my next sort of point of call probably would be try and get a one of one from Arsenal. I did see a Thomas Partey Nebula come up, which was unbelievable. But the price point is just obviously very high with Arsenal at the moment. So yeah, I'd like to pick a one of one at some point. Otherwise, I guess carrying on with the current PC, Arsenal, Gasly, Hamilton, and Steiner, probably with the three or four actually main talking points of 2023. But yeah, I think definitely getting the F1 2020 Chrome base set completed, trying to complete the Gunther Steiner Rainbow, and also picking up a one of one from Arsenal. I think we're probably the top three. What about you?
I think continuing on with my absolute adoration of Granit Xhaka and collecting more of his cards because, well, even though they're a lot more expensive than they was 18 months ago, it's continuing that. But also, I think just looking at other vintage stuff or pre-modern as well. I picked up a lovely Thomas Muller True Rookie this week, so I want to try and pick up some more stuff of players that I've always really liked, especially growing up. Your Kaká's, Ronaldinho's, for example. Obviously, Messi's, but I wait for the prices to go down. So it's just having a bit more of players that I grew up really liking, having some of their cards PSA'd, hopefully rookies, but obviously some of them be too expensive, so I'll probably end up going for second, third year, or just cards that look nice. And then I think getting some stuff off to SGC at some point as well. Got some nice fingers that need to go off and some nice Arsenal cards in general. So getting a lot more slabbed up just to be protected, and then they can go away in the case and be none the wiser and just can not be in the sun, even though I have them out a lot of the time anyway. But I think that's one of the main things as well. But also, as well, thrown in there with the podcast for 2024, I think it's just going to be, like I say, it's going to stick on weekly once we return on the first Tuesday after New Year, and hopefully bring you a lot more new guests and a lot more ideas that we've got coming, which hopefully we can put into work. So yeah, from January onwards, it's going to be good restarting up season 2 of the Top Loaded podcast, and just as you say, bring everyone weekly content, getting more people on, not just obviously breakers, people within the hobby, but just anyone at all that wants to talk, and hopefully go a bit more, get a few more people on from around the world. And we've got a couple lined up as we speak, so it should be really good. I think we're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's exciting to see what 2023 brings for the podcast and who we can get on and what sort of content we can bring. As you said, obviously, we've got a few big names lined up already that we can hopefully get on early 2023. And yeah, just see what the year brings for us. So we've got a lot up our sleeve, a lot planned, a lot in mind. So hope we can bring a lot of that to life. And yeah, just keep bringing you guys more content, more in-depth content, more sort of knowledgeable content. And yeah, see where it takes us.
Yeah, I think that, like you say, we're really looking forward to 2023. We'll be resting, probably drinking, eating a lot as well over the
Eating a
next
lot, that's for sure.
week and a half. So in a couple of weeks we'll be back, and then we'll hopefully have hopefully there'll be a few things happening in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, we know we had PSA announcement last night as we're recording this for changing the prices, especially regular coming down 25% in price, and meant to be a 4-week turnaround. So it should be really interesting 2023, and I think we kind of do like a state of play for the first episode of just what's going on, all the different grading, and like what we're expecting on the review calendar for releases. So it'll kind of be a look forward to 2023, and hopefully have a couple of people on with us. But the best place to start now is we have got some questions for our lovely Harry here. He's been obviously doing his he said to me that he went to sleep last night, but I think he's been up all through the night reading, and he don't know what's coming here. This is the greatest thing ever.
I've got no idea
what's coming. What type of question? I could really stitch him up if I wanted to, but do you think you're ready?
I'm awful at quizzes. I've got memory of a goldfish. You could ask what we did last night. I ain't got a clue. But I'll give it my best shot, and hopefully I don't embarrass myself with my answers.
That's right, because actually some of the questions are about you, so I'm really hoping.
Oh, fair enough.
Because I thought, what is the best way to start? Obviously, people listening along will not be as accurate on this first round, but I thought I'll go easy on him to begin with, and I'll ask him a few questions about some of the cards that he has put out on his Instagram page in 2022.
Oh God.
Which is going to be quite funny when he actually realizes, oh crap, I actually really do not know here. This is going to be the best.
Yeah.
So the first one.
Right, let me get my notepad out. Notepad.
Am
I just am I telling my answers, or am I just writing them down?
Write them down, and then we'll go back through.
Right, sweet.
So there'll be 4 questions in the Harry round of, does he know what's on his Instagram page? And the
Go
first
on, so
one
what we know.
is you did purchase a Jude Bellingham, Borussia Dortmund, obviously topped chrome PSA. What is the grade and what is it number 2? So that is, he bought a lovely PSA Stadium Club Champions League Jude Bellingham rookie with him flicking the ball up on his inside heel, which I do at Power League, but then I normally pull my hamstring. What is it number 2 and what is it PSA out?
Yeah, I think I got that.
Perfect. The next one is you have recently added to your Thierry Henry SGC collection. He's now looking for anyone who's just listening on here. He's now thinking, it's a nice easy one for you. I'm not going to say great, but which years are the 2 Thierry Henry stickers that you have now got in your collection? That is, which 2 Thierry Henry years have you got in your collection? 2 lovely SGC pieces. One's at 6.5, one's at 8.5. Even though one got relegated out of its lovely, lovely mag case.
I know, I did feel bad taking it out of the slab mag last night. I did feel bad.
I hope you felt bad. Thierry is knowing that from a distance. Just all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Up next, obviously, the one and only Gunther Steiner is one of your favourite PCs. In the picture where you showed off your rainbow, how many different cards did you have in that picture? This is fantastic. Doing a Harry Ground. This is absolutely perfect.
I think it's that.
See, it's brilliant to test people on themselves. He was looking up
I think it's that.
Mantles. He was looking up all the PSAs. He didn't look on his own Instagram page.
Yeah, no, I did not expect this. I think it's that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the last one is, this is not on your Instagram page, but it's a question between us two. At the South Coast Card Show, you purchased an Arsene Wenger sticker from me. Which year is that sticker?
Oh no, I ain't getting this one. This one's wrong. That's wrong, but for some reason that year is sticking in my head. It's wrong, but I'm going with that.
Perfect. So that completes the Harry round of the quiz. So, obviously, Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
What grade is your Jude Bellingham and what is it number 2?
I know it's definitely PSA 9, and is it number 199?
See, he knows his own Jude Bellingham.
Yeah.
See, he's got a little smirk on his face now, so he realises he actually knows his own cards, which is absolutely
I'm not as stupid as the first thing.
And now, moving on to the king himself, Mr. Thierry Henry. Obviously, you've got 2 stickers of him. What are the years of the 2 stickers?
It's 1999 to 2000 and then 2000 to 2001.
He knows his own stuff here. He knows his own stuff here. It's good because this is the easy round. You wait till what's up next. And obviously, moving on now to Mr. Gunther Steiner. In your picture of cards, how many cards did you have?
7.
7. Well done, my friend. Because I wondered if you was going to remember that you had the auto in there. But
I knew there was 4 at the top. I couldn't really count. There was 5 at the top, 4 at the bottom, or 4 at the top and 3 at the bottom. I was like, I've not got that many cards yet. So I was like, it's got to be 7.
Yeah, it was the blue, aqua, checker, base, red, gold, and auto. So, and last but not least, you purchased an Arsene Wenger sticker of me at the South Coast Card Show. Which year was it?
I've taken a punt and got 1982.
It is 1988. So, first one of the day scored to Ronnie. So, it was a lovely sticker, that one. It is currently off SGC. So, good luck to it at SGC. Yeah. And moving on to the next round, which is card sets of 2022. I might have given away some of the ones because you know which my favourite sets are. However, the first question is for everyone doing along, probably get quite a few more of these ones. In the recent release of World Cup Prism, there were multiple different versions of the set. However, in the choice boxes, what were the one of ones called?
Oh, yeah, I
So
got
that
that.
is in the 2022 World Cup Prism, in the choice boxes, what are the one of ones called? One of the nicest card designs I've seen in
Yeah,
person,
definitely.
and the prices are definitely reflecting that as we speak.
Unfortunately,
Next up, another World Cup Prism related question. They are case hits in World Cup Prism, excluding color wheels, which no one truly knows what they actually are numbered to because they are super rare. Can you name the other three case hits? That is in World Cup 2022 Prism. There are three case hits because obviously we still don't technically know what in color wheels number two because they're more than that. Unless you're Lawrence and you hit one in a blaster. Which three are the case hits?
really, I've got two. I don't know what the third one is though.
I see. I thought that was there'd be people screaming the answer. I actually feel like when
It
them
probably will
presenters are
be.
now, people will be shouting the answer at the screen here. It is a very
Move on, and I'll have to try and think about it as we go on.
perfect. So moving on to another World Cup product now, which was the Panini World Cup sticker book of 2022. It did cause some uproar when they announced for the first time they was doing what to the US edition stickers, what they released on their website. So that is moving on to another product of the World Cup 2022, which is the sticker book. What did they announce? What caused some uproar when they released them on PaniniAmerica.net when they did release? Which I've seen quite a
Just,
few
just,
of.
just going back. Number two. It doesn't include color wheel, yeah.
Doesn't include Color Wheel because
Right.
Color
Okay.
Wheel, no one quite knows the hit rate of that yet. But I've watched about 20 cases and haven't seen one yet. So, but then, as I said, Lawrence Wendon, who does listen to the podcast, congratulations because he hit a Color Wheel out of a blaster, which was pretty insane.
I might have to call that one a loss. I don't know.
And the final question, I'm going to call this the World Cup round. And this one is a nice, easy one for everyone listening because it's regarding myself. I am very fortunate to have hit which parallel for my favourite player in the history of football near enough now, Granit Xhaka. So which parallel did I hit of his from the lovely guys over at Trade We? Lucky enough, I hit two in the same box, but it's not. We're not talking about the red here. We're talking about the low numbered cards, which I've actually got
sure.
right behind me, right there. So obviously that concludes the World Cup round. The first question was in choice, what are the one of ones called?
Nebula.
Nebula. And I think even you would agree, we've seen them in person. Nebulas
Yeah.
are a fantastic card. So moving on now to the case hits. So this one was excluding color wheel because it's not true. It's not a one per case. Can you name the three case hits in World Cup Prism?
So I got manga. I got national landmarks, but I don't know what the third one was.
The third one is a PB Shannon.
Is it
National
National Pride?
Pride. Yeah,
Oh,
National Pride. Lovely, honestly, a
I
lovely
even had
card
that in my head. I
design.
was like, is it National Pride? But I was like, no, I swear they're too common.
Yeah, National Pride is
Oh,
another case. A lovely card. Honestly, lovely card. Some of the nicer cards in the set. I know the Neymar one is really nice. So moving on
damn it.
to question 3 of the World Cup round. What caused some uproar when Panini announced it would happen first time with the World Cup stickers?
Numbered stickers?
Spot on. And a lot of them have been found now. I see an Instagram post the other day from Panini, and quite a lot of the one of ones have been pulled, but I did enjoy one of them, which was stuck into a sticker book, which was the Heung-min Son one. It's meant to
Yeah.
be in the book, so fair enough to them. And the last question of the World Cup round is: Lucky enough, I did hit a low number Granite Xhaka from the guys at Trade We. What was this card number 2?
Orange to 25.
It was indeed orange to 25, and I have it in possession now, which is even nicer. And like I say, it will be getting off a grading next year. So that concludes the World Cup round. And
Are we
sadly,
counting like three marks for question 2 and just 2 ones I got right, or are we counting just get no point for
I'll
it?
give you 2 because I'm being nice.
All right, dream.
So we're still waiting for that 4 marks out of a round. So we'll definitely hold you to this. Hopefully, 2023 quiz will do better for you next year. So far, but as you say, national landmarks. You're never going to forget now that is a case hits. So moving on this round to just the other releases, because I thought World Cup Prism had to have its own release because it's fresh in the mind. And obviously, a couple of these are quite an easy one. Definitely an easy one because I know you've researched this, and also it's probably got everyone running around. So, round 3, which product got released within game stores in the UK in 2022 for a price of $24.99, which had people scrambling with their giant bags to their local game store?
You included, yeah?
Yep, including me, because I managed to get one. I got an Anthony Goldwave in the box, and sadly, the people wearing full Supreme at the front who asked for all the boxes got denied. So that was which product was released in game stores in 2022. Hopefully, get to see a lot more of that next year. Hopefully, with some other releases, which I think we all would agree with. It'll be a very interesting one. Next one is a bit more of a niche one, but an Arsenal fan potentially will know this. So within
Don't put any more pressure on me, for God's sake.
Premier League Prism, Aaron Ramsdale's base card was a printing error for every single one in the world, which is still quite amusing to me. Do you know why every Aaron Ramsdale is a printing error? That is in Premier League Prism this year. Aaron Ramsdale's card is an error in every single one base card. So the base card has got an error on. What is the reason why it is an error? This did have people claiming on eBay that it was a 1 of 1. It was printing error 1 of 1. Buy now, invest now, fire emoji, graph emoji, fire emoji. But no, it was the same as every single base card.
I honestly have no idea about this. So,
see, I said there'd be some trickier ones in there that people will know. But
I never even noticed it.
See, this is going to be a great one then. Next one. In Chronicles, first off the line boxes, which are a lovely pink wave design. What are the cards number 2? That is in Chronicles, first off the line, the lovely pink wave design. What are the cards number 2?
So I remember seeing the PSA Martinelli rookie ticket, pink wave. I can't think what it's number 2. There's 3 possible answers, and I've just gone for this one, but I think it's wrong.
And
I'll go with it anyway.
Heading to the answer section for this one. For question 1, what was your answer?
Merlin Blasters.
Indeed, it was the Merlin Blasters. I think a very successful release. We hope to see a lot more of it. I've still got mine sitting next to me. Sadly, it was not a numbered card that I wanted because I'm not a fan of Anthony. Second answer, please, before I reveal the answer.
See, I had no idea, so I've just put the wrong team. Did it say Sheffield United of Arsenal? Did it within the wrong kit?
So the actual answer is the actual card was on a white card rather than silver, which was still very strange to me. I will find a picture of it for people. I have it somewhere, but there's more chance of me finding it on Google than it is finding the actual one in person. So his actual card was, here we go, perfect one for us. A white, his actual normal one was white. They did not put the silver colouring in. So his card was the only one white rather than the silver that it should have been. So it led to a lot of people at first claiming is this a one of one?
Or the white sparkle.
Yeah, it was just a printing error on every single base Ramsdale. So, yeah, good job, Panini. And the last answer for this round is, first off the line, what is it number 2 in Chronicles?
So it was one of three for me. Is it going to be 7, 12, or 15? I've gone 15.
19. It was actually
Oh.
higher. I think the one that you might have been getting confused of was oh no, that was Obsidian I was thinking of, but it was 19. So the Pink Wave
19.
was 19. Honestly, a lovely variation in person. Very hard to hit,
round.
but so that completes the round of other releases. And moving on to the next one is a bit of more of a generic one. So on the Top Loaded podcast this year, obviously it's a bit unfair because you weren't here from the beginning, which was it was a sad time and it was just me sitting here all alone. But since you've taken over, how many episodes have we done this year in general, not before you started or after? So before this episode, how many episodes was there of 2022? Now he's trying to remember the intro and which number it is. That's why
I know what number we're on today. I'm pretty sure there was no episodes in 2021. Yeah, we're going with that. I'm going with that.
Moving on to the next one. Obviously, we've had a load of guests on the Top Loaded podcast. For first one back in episode 2, who recently come on a few weeks ago. Who was the first ever guest of the Top Loaded podcast? That is, who was the first ever guest of the Top Loaded podcast?
I'm confident on that one.
And my favourite one is phrases and expressions of some reason made up and said for the first time. But now, what do I have to say at the end of every single episode? That is, what is the phrase that I have to say now at the end of every episode has now probably become my catchphrase on the Top Loaded podcast. And last but not least, at the last London Car Show we attended, we had a conversation with a few different YouTubers at the London Card Show. But which one bought a Gunther Steiner at the London Card Show? And for references, Harry did know that he bought this Gunther Steiner and he waited for a YouTube video to come up with him reviewing all of his purchases from the show to make sure that it wasn't one from the rainbow that he needed.
Yeah, I got a phone out to Buddy Ohio and got it myself.
So, first answer this round of, prior to this episode, the conclusion of the season 1, how many episodes of the Top Loaded podcast has there been in 2022?
I'm going to be like 1 or 2 out. I think I put 43.
Oh, he has got one off. This is
episode
43, so it is 42 episodes.
You've shafted me there.
Had to be done, my friend.
Oh, God.
The first guest of the Top Loaded podcast was our good friend
Big H.
Well done. Yeah, it was Big H. And his lovely supplies, which I need to buy because he's recently got them dual mags and I need to get them dual mags. Moving on to answer number 3. Can I have your answer for number 3 before I reveal it, please?
Happy hobbying.
Yes, it is happy hobbying, everybody. Happy hobbying. I think I'm going to get a hat made up and I just want it happy hobbying on the front. Like I say, it has become the closing line of the Top Loaded podcast now of happy hobbying. And obviously, question 4, was very fortunate to meet some lovely YouTubers that have travelled over from the pond at the last London Card Show. But which one bought a Gunther Steiner? I believe it was Orange Chrome to 50 at the Top
Card
Loaded
Collector
podcast.
2.
Yes, it was Ryan at Card Collector 2. Very, very nice card. And like I say, very good to see him over and hopefully see him Sandy Prime, Sandy League Investors, and obviously Troy from Trike Cards as well over next year, as well as many others. But obviously that concludes the top loaded podcast round, and we're near enough got full answers there, close enough. So
I've been one off every single round, apart from the one I got 2 wrong at.
And this round is a bit different. So it's just a generic one to finish up. This is the last round of the quiz, and next year will be a bigger quiz. But so far we have had World Cup Prism, other releases, the Top Loader podcast, and yourself. So categories that you should know quite a bit about. And I'm going to do, just to finish off, a round about your lovely host of the Top Loader podcast, which is me. So hopefully I do know the correct answers to this one. But obviously, everyone knows I am a big Arsenal collector. However, which 2 players do I PC the most? And I have counted and verified the results of this one. So which 2 Arsenal players does myself, RPT Trading Cards, collect the most? And they have both got over 30-odd cards each now. So they're chugging along.
No.
They are chugging along, both of these players, and hopefully add a lot more, especially when my delivery comes over from America. Second question. I am very fortunate to have 2 one-of-ones in the collection before the printing plate comes over. Which 2 Arsenal players are the one-of-ones? That is
2.
Lucky enough, in my collection, I have 2 one-of-ones.
Not including the printing plate.
Not including printing plate. Which 2 Arsenal players are the one-of-ones of? This is more of a generic one. It might know this one might not up for a friend. Out of all the parallels within Chronicles, there's one parallel in particular that I really like to collect. I have an SGC 10 of it for Gabriel rated rookie. What is my favourite parallel in Chronicles? That is, what is my favourite parallel within Chronicles? Lucky enough, I do have a few cards of this parallel, and I've picked up a few more recently because you can get them for cheap when players leave the club.
I've been confident so far.
Last but not least,
at
one of the London car shows trade night this year, I done a deal with the host himself, Harry, for which Arsenal card? That is, at trade night of one of the London card shows, I done a deal with the host himself, Harry.
That's a full house. I'm telling you now, that's a full house.
Which card was it? And first question of the thing, which 2 PC players do I PC?
Xhaka and Gabriel.
That is spot on. The lovely Granit Xhaka, which was a lot cheaper 18 months ago, and Gabriel, which now the Merlin Rainbow is on the hit list. Moving on to the second one. Can I have your answer for the second one before I reveal the answer?
You got Leno and Ødegaard.
Spot on. The 2 one-of-ones I have in my possession is a Don Russ Black 1-of-1 for Bernd Leno, which is to 75, was never printed, and the 1-of-1 gold-plated Futera headliners, which is sitting proudly in the PC. Moving on. What is my favourite parallel within
Cracked Dice?
It is Cracked Dice. There it is there for you. Cracked Dice number 23 is my favourite parallel. I think I have 10 or 11 now, different Cracked Dice variations. And last but not least, which card did I make a deal with Harry from the London Guard Show at trade night for?
The Saka Auto.
That's spot on. The Prism Chronicles Bukayo Saka Auto, which I'm a very big fan of and very happy for getting that deal over the line. So, full house to end on. So what that has told me is you know more about me than the London card from yourself, the Top Loaded podcast, and cards in general. So perfect. But like I say, it was just a bit of a fun one in terms of doing it a bit different for the last one. And like I say, congratulations for full house on me. You are rewarded with a base Granit Xhaka World Cup Prism card because I have 1,000 of those.
But, you sign it for me as well.
Yeah, 100%. I've even I'll even put in a penny sleeve and top loader for you just to be safe. But
and a bubble mailer. Send in a bubble mailer. Yeah, don't forget to do that.
I mean, you can get a normal envelope for that one. But like we say, thank you so much, everyone, and I will pass the floor over to Harry in a second for his. Say thank you everyone for the support on the first year of the Top Loaded podcast. It's been a whirlwind so far, and as we say, it's only going to get better in 2023. So I thank every single person who's reached out, spoke to us, listened, or even just passed on their advice for it. We really do hope you have a happy holiday season. You have a very nice time to relax from cards. Make sure you still look at them auctions though, because there's PWCC ending on Christmas Day, which I'll be looking at because hopefully there'll be some cheaper deals. But as I say, I hope everyone has a lovely remainder of 2022. Spends a lovely, whatever you're doing, have a lovely time, and obviously look forward to you in 2023. Over to you, Harry, for your closing messages of 2022.
Yeah, I can't really thank everyone enough, obviously, for the support since obviously I've joined Ronnie on the podcast. It's been really overwhelming. Obviously, we loved every episode we've done. Obviously, can't thank everyone enough that's listened every week. That's obviously come and spoke to us for card shows, all the Instagram DMs. Yeah, I can't thank everyone enough, obviously, for the support. Also looking forward to catching up with everyone in 2023. Hope everyone has a lovely Christmas and a very successful New Year. And once again, yeah, thank every single one of you that has listened to every episode, a few episodes. Drop us a DM, set a lower card shows. It's massively appreciated. And yeah, look forward to seeing you all in 2023.
Absolutely, and like we say, we will be taking our first week off next week in between Christmas and New Year, but we are very
Do I still
much
get paid for it? It's holiday.
as you say, I can give you another Xhaka base card as payment.
Yeah, cheers, mate. That's fine.
That's absolutely fine. I think I've got about 100 of them now, so more than welcome to any of them. As we say, thank you ever so much for everything so far in 2022. Enjoy the week and so left of 2022, and we will see you for season 2 of the Top Loader podcast in 2023. So that is all from us in this year. So thank you ever so much for everyone. Have a lovely festive period. Don't drink too much. Don't eat too much. Yeah, I'll be eating too much and drinking too much. So, and I think the last thing to say from us is happy holidays, happy New Year, but importantly, happy
Happy hobbying.
and good night.